Today I was thinking about how I used to live in South LA in the hood. And it was so hood that helicopters used to fly around nearly every day. It was so hood that somebody actually made up a song about where I lived. They even came up with a video idea. And they told me that the song should be called Where the Hood At. They even had a visual about how people should look out their window and say, "Where the hood at? Where the hood at?" And it was very offensive to me, but it gave me the motivation that I need to get out of the hood and to get my kids out of the hood. It was so hood that I was in a red zone for gangs. It was so hood that one day the SWAT team came on my floor to find someone, and it was about 30 of them. And I've never seen so many officers and detectives and officers in their armor and all of that stuff. It was just crazy. But one day I was at that park for the complex that I lived in, and there was a young man that was there at the park, baggy pants, definitely hood. But it's so important to not judge a book by its cover because God used this person. That day that I saw him, I was so discouraged and I was so overwhelmed and I was so drained that I could not figure out what to do. And God used this guy, and he said something so simple that I've heard people say before, but for some reason it just spoke volumes to me at that moment because it was just what I needed. And he turned to me, he said, "Hey ma, you can do anything if you put your mind to it." And literally he spoke that into my spirit because I've heard that before, but for some reason it hit different that day because I felt so drained mentally and overwhelmed. And when he said that, I literally started to think, yes, I can do anything. And I started to really put a plan into action. And that day was what set me free from the mental bondage that I was in. So I'm here to tell you, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. All you have to do is believe and you will achieve. It's so simple. You hear it so much, but when you really let that sink into your spirit, it can take you a long way.